This is Jay Bowden, software engineer here at Titan, looking to walk you through a short video on our test software and the operator interface. This is my Windows 10 computer. This software currently runs on Windows 10, Windows 7, capable of running on Windows XP if needed. Normally, the software will just load on startup when the computer boots, but in my case it's running on my laptop, so I just have the exe shortcut here, which will allow you to run it also. And I currently have the software already running, so when you click the shortcut it would load this application. On the left hand side of the screen we have our test steps, all the different steps that the software will run through for the operator once they click the automatic test button. Once it runs through all the test steps, it jumps back around and is ready to run the next. We can set this up to automatically loop so that the operators don't even have to click the button, but this will work with the mouse or with the touch screen. Down at the bottom here we have auto manual modes where they can actually switch into a manual mode and run any individual test steps if they wish to. We also do have a pause button that if the software is set up for this, you can stop and pause certain spots during the test to allow you to troubleshoot and debug, mostly for administrator purposes and all that. Over on the right we have our test tabs. There's our main test tab, which will show the operator prompts and instructions. The main here is the information about the unit under test, whether it's cylinder, struts, valves, transmissions. It'll have that information here. Test tab, and this tab will be live while we're running through the test, and it'll show you a live strip chart of the data being recorded and monitored, along with the parameters we're testing and validating with min-max and units, so the value that was recorded. This will be green or red depending on pass or fail. So if there's a pass parameters, they'll just show up here in green. If it's a failed one, it'll show up in red. Instructions, we're able to give operator instructions. Good sample here would be for like a connections. So I'll just run this real quick so you can see that they can add instructions. They could have 20-30 pictures here if they wanted to go through and cycle through those while they're doing this. We also, for this particular situation, we have this disabled, so if they decide to want to skip, if they run the same part over and over again, we can skip the instructions for them. Service, just a simplified circuit here of what we set up for our simulation. Normally there'd be a lot more here, but this is just for this demonstration in this video. But this would update live with the circuit information, what's going on with some of the valves, the cylinder, the pressures, temperatures possibly. And then help for an individual test step. We can apply help to it so that it can give the operators information about what they're doing or being asked to do. Examples here is I put some for the select model and enter serial number, so as I click this you'll see that my help filled in with some instructions along with the picture, and we could put many pictures in there with help, drawings. You can use PDFs, you can use web pages, whatever you'd want in here to help them guide them through any assemblies or anything like that. Over to the left we have a system tab, unit or test tab, just to show us live information about the current system, so live data for temperature, pressure, unit or test. So here you have position, head pressure, rod pressure, whether it's extended, retracted. And at the bottom we have our fault and warning box, which really shows you if there's any system faults, anything like that. They would show up here in red, and you can acknowledge all, acknowledge individual ones, those sort of things. Test menus. We have different test step menus here that are really not used, but only mostly in administrative purposes or maintenance purposes. So you can see different things here. You can even change languages. I'll go to Chinese. I'll do to Spanish. So you can see even the menus change over. I'll go back to English. But there's things for turning on and off automatic testing, looking at fault viewers, their specifications, calibrations, service manual controls, and then a little bit of help. I'll be able to go over these in a different video after this one. So I am going to click here and do what a normal operator would do, is click the automatic test, and you can see I'm already stepping through the process on the left. This is one of the simulated models I created for our demo here. See, it's filling it in, just a simulated serial number. They could scan in using barcodes, AMS, MES systems, stuff like that, we can fill this in from the background automatically. In this case, I'm just going to type it in and hit OK. You can see connections got skipped because this is the same model being duplicated, so we don't show them the instructions every time. And we jumped right into the break-in test. So you can see my test steps, or my properties, parameters, are being filled in at the test top here, all green because we're passing. And you can see here my head end pressure came up, break away, it started to move, my position's moving, so it's extending. We hit the snubber here, so you see a little bit of a pressure spike, and then again here when we hit the end stop, and you can see my position stop because we're at the end basically. And then we retract, come back, you can see the rod end pressure come up, breakaway basically, and then it starts to move back the other direction. Hit the snubber at the end, and then we go through, hit the end, stop, and then go back. So my break-in here has two sequences where we go back and forth twice. So you can see here's my test name, the parameter we're basically verifying. What the IO tag here is which channel in our IO we're looking at, and then the value along with min, max, units. So as we're going through, we're recording all this data, and all this data would get saved to file in the background too. Should be getting done with my final retract here. This is my simulated data is probably quite a bit slower than your test process would be. It's so I can talk over it while we're going here. And we got to the end, and then you can see it passed, it's green, and then we moved on to the extend cylinder. So now basically doing the same process, pressure builds up until it breaks away, starts to move, and here goes our position. Pressure drops while we're moving, and you can see my test name here changed over with new parameters that we're recording. And so you have all the different test items that we're looking at, and you can go back and review them. Oop, we got to the top, and now we do the pressurize. So now we're pressurized at the end. We block off the ports, and we're really just sitting there making sure we don't have any leakage and the pressure dropping along with the position not moving to make sure that we don't have any broke seals, leaking anything. So, and you'll see we record pressurized extend, we have head pressure we're recording, positions we're recording, and now we retract. So now you can see we're building a pressure breakaway, it starts to move, and then all of a sudden drops down. You can see our position changing here as we retract. Get to the end, you'll see the stubber come up, and then hit the end stop, and then we'll move on to the next step, and we'll do the pressurize of the retract. So now we're just holding pressure there. Hopefully our position doesn't move and we're all the way retracted, and we'll hold that for however many seconds we put in the test step. And then once that's done, this will turn green, and we'll go through to the next steps. There we go. And so it saved the results and it ended. So now it would be ready for the next step. And now I'll simulate a quick failure. Automatic test, enter model, new serial number, and as we're testing. So I'm going to hit my abort or stop test button. So boom, there we stop. So this is a sample of a fault. You can see it turned red here. HMI aborted. Now I get these options to continue with the next test, return, and go back to the beginning because we just need to start all over. Abort and run the end tests, and abort automatic testing. So I'm going to abort and run non-test steps, which will take me down to my save test. Continue, and then it came back around. So you can see it skipped all these because maybe we have a broken cylinder or unit under test, and we want to repair it and come back here. Right now, then I'd be able to hit automatic test and rerun through all these. So this is the video that would demonstrate what the operator would see a normal operation for an operator. I will do another video to go through what these menus up here will do for them and those operations. Thank you.